This week on Wildcat News, we learn about the extra 10 minutes added onto the schedule.
The art club created a mural.
And a junior has an unusual hobby.
All these stories and more coming up because Wildcat News starts now.
Good morning, West Johnston. I'm Ariel Andrews.
And I'm Landry Connors. Ariel, did you notice the 10 minutes added to the day?
Yeah, I was wondering what's up with that.
Well, Hannah Creech can inform us.
Because of Hurricane Matthew, an extra 10 minutes was added to the school day to meet the state requirement of 1,025 hours of instruction. Principal Dr. Paula Coates says that the superintendent was adamant about getting a response from the parent.
We did a Connect Ed message and got their feedback, and that was the overwhelming choice by everyone. It was just a good decision, I think, on his part to get feedback from everybody.
Coates explains her thoughts on the lengthened schedule.
It feels like we're having to stay at school longer, but it's really not a lot different. I don't think it has a lot of effect.
Senior Madison Lanham does not like the new schedule because she struggles to get to work on time.
Well, I have work every day at 3, and I like to go home and change into my uniform, but now I had to change in my car.
Coates prefers the extra 10 minutes over losing teacher work days and break days.
I think when you go through a school year and have no teacher work days and no breaks, you're exhausted, and that shows in the quality of instruction.
Lanham says some students are not happy.
I've heard a lot of negative comments, how some kids were saying they're just going to walk out at 2:25 instead of 2:35.
Lanham says the new schedule affects her negatively.
I won't be able to stay after school when I have work, and that puts me behind in all my classes because I'm already behind in all of them. So adding 2.5 minutes to our class doesn't help me finish any of my work, because on the extra 2.5 minutes, we sit there and wait for the bell.
I'm Hannah Creech, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Hannah.
Hey, Landry, did you see the painting near the football field?
No, I hadn't noticed.
Marissa Prendergast looks into it.
Art Club recently completed a mural by the football field. Art teacher Elizabeth Colston and Art Club president SAVANNAH HERRERA gives insight on the sole purpose of the wall.
The wall was definitely painted there to show our Wildcat pride. We really do appreciate our football team and all the great games that they've been doing this year, and this is probably the best coincidental way to give back to them.
I mean, the football players obviously hear us from the stands, but it's also kind of nice of a visual for them to see. At least they know that we're cheering them on somehow.
HERRERA was astonished by the size and the difficulty with the mural.
When we first heard what we had to do was very daunting. It's an 80-foot long wall, it's on a hill, there's ants. Anytime we wanted to bring paint, we had to put it over the ledge or bring it up the hill.
Despite this being Colston's first major project, she was pleased by the turnout and dedication.
It was the first big project of the year with a whole bunch of new art club kids. So, you know, I didn't know if I was going to have 3 kids this year or 100. I ended up having like 40.
And pretty much we stayed after for weeks. We did have some issues with rain, but they were willing to stay longer.
Colston clarifies why it wasn't completed on time.
The football players couldn't play, we couldn't paint. If the field was wet, we couldn't paint because we're on a hill, on a huge incline, which was really uncomfortable, as well as the ants.
HERRERA and Colston illustrate how they felt when it was finished.
I can speak for all the art club. Once we were all able to stand down at the bottom of this giant hill and look up and see these borders and the colors and everything just come together, all these letters, it just looked like a finished mural.
I'm really, really happy with how it came out. It's a massive, massive project, and I really wasn't sure how we were going to handle it.
I'm Marissa Prendergast, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Marissa.
Now let's head over to Chase FAIRCLOTH with the rundown.
I'm Chase FAIRCLOTH, and welcome to the rundown. One student competes in a sport that isn't well known. Landry Connors reports.
Targeting is a competitive sport that includes bows and other forms of weapons. Junior Erica Winspear is one of few students that participates in this activity. Winspear explains the amount of effort that is put into the sport.
You have to spend a lot of time at the range, like practicing what you're going to be doing, even though you really don't know what you're doing. You have to shoot silhouettes, which are metal animals from different distances.
Erica's father, David Winspear, feels that the competitions are busy and full of waiting.
Regionals, I think they had 600, and 4-H in a whole has 3 regions, and then you go to states, and there's probably 700 people that make it to states. But it can be wait for some disciplines to, especially like archery, because archery takes longer than a lot of the other disciplines. So it's an all-day endeavor.
Erica Winspear describes the process of competitions and the people that participate.
There's different areas for different kinds of equipment. Like you have different targets for every single one. And like shotguns, you shoot clays, and air rifle and air pistol are inside instead of outside. There's mostly our boys, and you'll see like one or two other girls up there with you, and they just try to psych you out because you're a girl.
David Winspear says that watching his kids get better is his favorite part of the sport.
You know, the more they shoot, the better they get. Happy when they surprise themselves, when they come back with a score, like her last states with a .22 pistol. She came back and was like, she couldn't even believe it herself how well she shot.
Erica Winspear has advice for those thinking of trying out the sport.
Don't give up just because you're missing, because you'll just get better from there.
I'm Landry Connors, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Landry. Tonight swim is away, Friday football is home, Tuesday basketball is home. Come out and support all your athletes. I'm Chase FAIRCLOTH, and that's your week's rundown.
Thanks, Chase. Well, that's all for us this week. If you have any comments, questions, or story leads, email us at wjstudentmedia@gmail.com or send us a tweet at wjstudentmedia.
And if you want to watch Wildcat News at home, on the go, or catch up on past episodes, go to wjstudentmedia.com or subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Ariel Andrews.
And I'm Landry Connors. Thanks for watching and have a great week.